Well, in general, I would say pretty well. We speak English at home. I speak English directly to him. My wife is French, so she speaks to him directly in French, 100% of the time. Outside of home, he doesn't get a huge amount, to be honest. We have a few English-speaking friends that we do see occasionally, but that's pretty much a rarity. So really, the English that he's learning is coming only from me and my wife, and also some bedtime reading and things like that. I would say because the English is only coming from me and my wife, he's lacking of some kind of structural learning techniques or influence where he is learning more concretely about the language. Obviously I'm native English speaker, so I have a good understanding of the language. But as far as education and how children should be learning, what his level should be at his age group, what kind of resources or types of parts of language that he should be understanding at this age, I'm not 100% aware of. Learning resources mixed, obviously with the amount of online materials, we've managed to kind of click into that, reading books that I have bought myself to be able to read to him, with a hope that he then has an interest in reading them himself later on. And then either some games or some other materials that we've kind of got hold of because it's kind of part of our family way of doing stuff. We would be playing in English or having fun in English anyway. So for me, I think he's picking up English pretty well, but I'm not really testing him or not really kind of looking at his level compared to another kid in the UK or another kid of the same age group in France or in Spain. So really I don't know how his level's progressing. And we get by, so it's okay. For me it seems to be working. But like I said, there isn't really any concrete way of knowing that unless I assess him, and I don't do that. So I think Next Level English has the opportunity to be able to create a enjoyable learning experience for someone like my son. And I think it can help to build a community around using that language on a sort of more general basis outside of the home environment. So creating an opportunity for them to be able to use it, but also to realise how useful it can be outside of just talking to their dad. So I think having a platform where English speakers can come together to be able to collaborate on projects or topics, but also create a social network amongst themselves. And I can really see that has a role to play, and there is a big hole in his learning that exists at the moment that could fulfill. I think the development and my appreciation of the language and the value of it will come more so later on. But I think that later on in his education and in his life journey, I would like him to be able to connect with people and to be able to utilize his English at a very high level. I want him to be as native as possible in English language. So to be able to tap into the English education system when he's going to higher education, to be able to do international baccalaureates if he's in France or if he's in Spain in his education, to be able to go into the workforce as a fluent English speaker, to be able to integrate with work groups in the UK or outside of the UK, whatever he wants to do, is going to be super important. English is always going to be there, it's always going to be super important, and I think if you've got English to a very, very high level, then you're helping yourself immensely for the future. And I want him to be able to have that. So I really need to make sure that the value of speaking English, being fluent in English, being able to read, to be able to write, to be able to converse, to be able to put his ideas across, to be able to understand other people's ideas fluently in English is the most important thing. and if that can be accessed easily, remotely, as well as some kind of physical meetup as well to add to the whole experience, then I think that would be a fantastic resource and opportunity for him to be able to have.